In our modern world, where we are constantly shown what we lack, finding true contentment can seem impossible. Yet this very search for contentment lies at the heart of Buddhist teaching. The Buddha taught that suffering comes not from what we have or do not have, but from our relationship with desire itself. Consider the nature of desire. When we want something, we create a gap between our current state and an imagined future state. This gap becomes the source of our discontent. We think, when I have this thing, then I will be happy. But even when we obtain what we desire, the satisfaction is often brief. Soon, a new desire takes its place, and the cycle continues. This endless cycle is what we call the hungry ghost in Buddhist teaching. The hungry ghost has a tiny mouth, a thin neck, and a large empty stomach that can never be filled. No matter how much it consumes, it remains hungry. This is the nature of desire when left unchecked. But there is another way. Instead of constantly reaching for what we do not have, we can learn to appreciate what is already present in our lives. This is not about ignoring our needs or suppressing our desires. Rather, it is about understanding the difference between needs and wants, between what sustains us and what merely distracts us. When we practice contentment, we are not giving up on improvement or growth. Instead, we are freeing ourselves from the tyranny of constant wanting. We create space for true joy to emerge, joy that comes not from acquiring new things, but from deeply experiencing what is already here. The path to contentment begins with awareness. We must first recognize the patterns of desire in our own minds. Notice how a desire arises, how it creates tension and urgency, how it promises happiness but rarely delivers lasting satisfaction. By observing these patterns without judgment, we begin to loosen their hold on us. In the ancient text of the Dhammapada, the Buddha said, "Health is the greatest gift, contentment is the greatest wealth." This profound teaching reminds us that true richness comes not from what we possess, but from our ability to appreciate what we have. As we continue our exploration of contentment, remember that this practice is not about denying yourself pleasures or settling for less than you deserve. It is about finding the extraordinary within the ordinary, the sacred within the everyday. It is about discovering that what you have been seeking has been with you all along. Our ancient Buddhist teachings offer us a profound concept called chisoku in Japanese, which means knowing what is enough. This wisdom has guided seekers for thousands of years, yet it remains deeply relevant in our modern lives. When we know what is enough, we discover a natural boundary to our desires. This boundary is not a restriction that limits our joy, but rather a gateway to deeper satisfaction. Think of a simple bowl of rice. When we are truly hungry, this bowl brings tremendous pleasure. We taste each grain, feel its texture, and experience the satisfaction of our hunger being eased. But if we continue eating beyond what we need, the pleasure diminishes and may even turn to discomfort. This principle applies not only to food, but to all aspects of life. Our possessions, relationships, achievements, and experiences. By recognizing the point of enough, we prevent ourselves from pursuing excess that adds little to our happiness and may even detract from it. The great Zen master Ryokan lived in a simple hut with few possessions. One night, a thief broke in, only to find nothing worth stealing. Ryokan returned while the thief was there and said, "You have come a long way to visit me, and you should not return empty-handed. Please, take my clothes as a gift." The bewildered thief took the clothes and fled. Sitting naked, Ryokan looked at the moon and sighed. "Poor fellow. I wish I could give him this beautiful moon." This story illustrates a profound freedom. When we are not attached to our possessions, we cannot be robbed of our contentment. Ryokan found joy not in what he owned, but in what he could appreciate, like the beauty of the moon that belonged to no one and everyone. The practice of knowing what is enough also helps us avoid the trap of comparison. In today's world, we are constantly exposed to others who seem to have more wealth, more success, more happiness. But these comparisons only lead to dissatisfaction, because there will always be someone who appears to have more than we do. Instead, we can practice what the Buddha called mudita, finding joy in the good fortune of others without feeling that it diminishes our own. When we see someone else's happiness, we can think, how wonderful that joy exists in this world, rather than, why don't I have that joy? Knowing what is enough does not mean settling for less. It means recognizing the richness that already exists in your life and honoring it with your full attention and appreciation. It means understanding that often the most valuable things in life are not things at all. Now, let us explore how to bring these teachings into our daily lives. The Buddha taught that understanding alone is not enough. We must practice. Just as reading about swimming cannot teach you to swim, merely understanding contentment cannot bring it into your life. You must dive into the practice itself. Begin each day with a moment of appreciation. When you first wake, before checking your phone or starting your activities, take 3 deep breaths and bring to mind something you already have that sustains you. Perhaps it is the comfort of your bed, the roof over your head, or simply the gift of another day of life. This simple practice sets the tone for recognizing abundance rather than scarcity. Throughout your day, practice what we call the pause. Before making a purchase, pause and ask yourself, do I truly need this? Will it bring lasting satisfaction? What is motivating this desire? This pause creates space between the impulse and the action, allowing wisdom to emerge. Sometimes you will still choose to make the purchase, but it will be a conscious choice rather than an automatic response to desire. When eating, practice eating just 1 meal a week with complete attention. Notice the colors, smells, textures, and flavors of your food. Consider all the elements that brought this food to your table: the sun, rain, soil, and the many hands that planted, harvested, transported, and prepared it. This practice transforms an ordinary meal into an extraordinary experience of connection and appreciation. In your relationships, practice deep listening. When someone speaks to you, set aside your phone, turn away from your screen, and give them your full attention. Listen not just to respond, but to understand. This quality of presence is a rare gift in our distracted world, and it nurtures both the giver and receiver. With your possessions, practice the art of caring for what you already have. Clean and maintain your belongings with attention. Repair rather than replace when possible. When something breaks beyond repair, take a moment to appreciate its service before letting it go. This practice honors the value of what you own and reduces the craving for the new. In moments of desire or discontent, practice returning to your breath. Feel the sensation of breathing in and breathing out. Notice how your body feels in this moment. Often, our desires pull us away from the present into an imagined future. By returning to the breath, we come back to what is real and present. Remember that practicing contentment does not mean never experiencing desire. Desires will arise naturally. The practice is about relating to these desires with awareness, rather than being controlled by them. It is about recognizing that true contentment comes not from having everything you want, but from wanting what you already have. As we deepen our practice of contentment, we must turn inward through meditation and reflection. These internal practices help us address the roots of discontent that often lie buried in our subconscious mind. In our tradition, we practice a meditation called enoughness. Find a quiet place where you will not be disturbed. Sit in a comfortable but alert posture with your back straight and your body relaxed. Begin by bringing awareness to your breath, following its natural rhythm, without trying to change it. After your mind has settled, bring your attention to the phrase, "In this moment, I have enough." Repeat this phrase silently with each breath. When your mind wanders to thoughts of what you lack or what you want, as all minds do, gently notice this wandering and return to the phrase. This practice is not about forcing yourself to believe something, but about creating space to experience what might already be true. Another powerful practice is the 5 reflections meditation. In this practice, we reflect on 5 truths: that we are of the nature to age, to become ill, to die, to lose everything and everyone we love, and that we are the owners of our actions. These reflections might seem negative at first, but they actually help us appreciate the preciousness of what we have right now. When we truly understand that everything in life is temporary, our youth, our health, our possessions, even our relationships, we stop taking them for granted. Each moment becomes an opportunity for appreciation rather than acquisition. Each experience becomes valuable not because it will last forever, but precisely because it will not. Reflection also helps us examine our relationship with desire itself. When a strong desire arises, take time to sit with it rather than immediately acting on it or pushing it away. Notice where you feel this desire in your body. Is there tension? A pulling sensation? Observe how the desire changes over time if you don't feed it with thoughts or actions. Through this observation, you may discover that many desires are not about the object itself, but about what you believe that object will bring you. Perhaps a sense of security, recognition, or belonging. When you identify these deeper needs, you can explore more direct ways to address them, ways that may bring more lasting satisfaction. The practice of reflection also includes examining your values. What truly matters to you? What brings genuine meaning to your life? Often, we pursue goals that society has deemed important without questioning whether they align with our deepest values. By clarifying what matters most, we can direct our energy toward what truly enriches our lives. Remember that the goal of these practices is not to eliminate all desires or to become passive. Rather, it is to develop a wise relationship with desire, one that allows us to enjoy life's pleasures without becoming enslaved by them, and to use our resources in ways that bring genuine well-being to ourselves and others. As we conclude our exploration of contentment, let us remember that this practice is not a destination, but a lifelong journey. The path of contentment unfolds one moment, one choice, one breath at a time. True contentment is not dependent on external circumstances. It is not about having the perfect life, free from challenges or suffering. Rather, it is about finding peace within whatever circumstances arise. It is about discovering that even in difficulty, there is something to appreciate, something to learn, something that connects us to the vast tapestry of life. The Buddhist teachings tell us that contentment is like a seed that exists within each of us. Our practice simply provides the conditions for this seed to flourish: the sunlight of awareness, the water of compassion, the fertile soil of daily practice. As this seed grows, it transforms how we experience our lives, not by changing what happens to us, but by changing how we relate to what happens. In our busy world, the practice of contentment offers a radical alternative to the constant striving for more. It invites us to stop and notice the richness that already exists in our lives. This noticing is not passive. It is a profound act of engagement with reality, as it is, rather than as we wish it to be. When we embrace contentment, we do not give up on improving our lives or the world around us. Instead, we act from a place of fullness rather than lack, of appreciation rather than discontent. This shift in perspective allows our actions to be more effective and more aligned with what truly matters. As you continue on your own path, may you discover moments of deep contentment hiding in plain sight, in the warmth of connection with others, in the simple pleasures of daily life, in the beauty of nature, and in the quiet spaces between thoughts. May you find that what you have been seeking has been with you all along. Before we part, I wish to express my heartfelt gratitude to all of you who have watched this video, left kind comments, given a thumbs up, or subscribed to this channel. Your support means a great deal to me. The super thanks you have so generously shared help make these teachings possible. Your engagement creates a community of practice that extends far beyond what I could create alone. Each comment you leave builds our shared understanding and helps others who are walking this same path. May the teachings we have explored together serve you well in your daily life. May they bring you peace, joy, and a deep sense of contentment with what is already present in your life. Until we meet again in our next discussion, may you be well, may you be happy, and may you live with ease.